Hello. Okay, so this is a short video. I hope it's short. When I say short, it may be 2 minutes, it may be 5 minutes. Check the time to keep myself in check. Okay, so I got a few requests from people asking me to share how do one actually align to their gifts, to their sole purpose, so that they are able to help others in the world. Okay, so first of all, there is no one size fit all formula, because you know that what works for one person may not necessarily be befitting to another person, because we are all made differently. Okay, you may say that we are made equal, but actually, yeah, you are equal in a different sense. So we're never the same. But simply put, if we want to help people, first of all, there's this, okay, I'll give you three examples of how to help people effectively. Okay, so the first thing is actually to clear yourself from impure intentions. When I say impure intentions, it doesn't mean that you're evil or anything. It means that you are helping because there's something inside of you that is actually clinging on to something that you feel lacking within you. So what that means is that there's this pain inside of you, okay, that is unresolved. And the reason why you're helping is because you want to heal the pain inside of you, and you are projecting your pain to the people that you're helping. Okay, now that is, so clear your pain first. So you come from a purer space, cleaner mental space, and not so sticky, the energy. Okay, when I say sticky, it's like, very clingy. And then when the people that you help don't follow exactly what you say, you get very offended, you get very frustrated, So just help because you sincerely want to help. I'm not saying that if you come from that space, like, for example, you are a victim of abuse, domestic abuse, for example, okay? So if you were a victim of, you were a survivor, okay, from a domestic violence experience, then you advocate for women, to claim back their power, empower them, and then you dedicate your life to this cause. Okay, so you fight for them, and then you provide help to, then you support them. But if you have unhealed wound, WOUND. So you have unhealed pain from your experience. Chances are you will act out in ways that are not wholesome. It's not beneficial to the people that you are helping and to yourself, because there will be some kind of manifestation of a power struggle, control, and also manipulation without you intending to, because it's coming from a space of, this is painful. I know the pain. Why are you not getting it? And then you get very frustrated when that person don't listen to you. Sometimes what worked for you may not work for the other person. So we just give them space to be, we give them space to express themselves, but make sure they're safe, of course. Okay, so that is one. And the second thing, okay, the second point here is that we cannot use a kettle to boil the entire ocean. I remember I was about 30, I think I was about 37. Yeah, I was 37 years old when my coach told me, Sue, you cannot boil the entire ocean. So I improved that to, you cannot use a kettle to boil the entire ocean. That means that one person can only do that much. And be realistic. You are not Jesus. You are not Messiah. Not saying that you're not special, okay? But start small. I know today's world, people talk about doing big things, huge things, gigantic projects and all that stuff. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Okay. If you have all the support, all the conditions are right, by all means, go ahead and do it. But if you want to start here and now, you're perfectly fine to start here and now, just the way you are. So in little ways, even if it means just giving a cuddle to your dog, you're helping one more soul, because a dog has soul, okay? We won't argue on that, but yeah, you just help one more soul to feel comforted. And then by hugging the dog, you feel comforted too. So what you give, you will get in return. It's immediate. It's almost immediate what you give out to the world. So in every little way that you can, try. Okay. Some people say try is a dirty word, like trying means you're not doing, but set your mind to give it a go and just do it. Okay. Just do it. Start with one person. Start with one tiny step. If you're waiting for something to fall on your lap, or like a magic formula is sent to your mailbox and you open it and it tells you step 1, do what, step 2, do what, step 3, do what. It helps to a certain extent. There are some generic gurus out there who gives generic, very general pointers on how to get about. But you know, when you were in kindergarten, you learned ABC, right? And then after that, you were taught all the rules in maths and all that stuff. It's all basics. They give you the step-by-step approach. But when you go higher in your education, you will find that you are asked to expand on your own creatively. And you are asked to not just copy the sentences, but write an essay and just be creative with how you express yourself. This is exactly how life works. After the step-by-step, the rest is up to you. You don't have to follow the steps. And sometimes you just throw the steps away. You throw whatever that you know and you unlearn everything and you relearn it your own way. So remember that. Okay, so the second point is you are not a savior. You're not a messiah. So you don't have to boil the entire ocean. You don't have to like, oh, if I follow this formula, you don't have to be rigid and think that if I follow this formula, then it will bring me to this result. It may or it may not. And even if it brought you to that result, it may not be exactly as what you would have fulfilled yourself if you expanded and expressed yourself, your unique way. Because everyone has a unique imprint, soul, you know, like you are unique. So that's why quite unconventional. I don't tell people what to do. I tell people how to feel, okay, and what to get rid of. So, and the third point comes from a space of not void, VOID, but a space of non-expectation. There are so many people who have the volunteer fatigue. There are so many people who have the donor fatigue. There are so many people who experience some kind of burnout when they're helping people. It's because they expected something. It's not that they expected any monetary return, but they expected a certain result, or they expected that after they help out, they will feel better about themselves. Like, oh, I'm a good person. It's like a validation. Oh, I'm doing this good thing. If I do good, I will get good in return. That's karma. That's retribution. That is, you know, that like what you get is what you give is what you get in return. So you do that thinking a certain belief. And when that belief wasn't proven true, you tend to be like, oh, this is so unfair. I'm being punished by God or something. So when you come from a space of non-expectation, this is not saying that you give up and you don't expect anything, but this is coming from a space of pure thoughts. Like I help because I help. I don't help because I know that there are good things that will come out of this. I will get some self-interest or whatever. I'm not saying you should stupidly help people without getting anything back in return. If it's an energy exchange or monetary exchange are needed, then by all means do it. Okay, but I'm talking about helping people. And when you help people, you have to set the expectations You have to set it very clearly right from the start with yourself. With yourself. I'm doing this because of what? And this is strictly a client or client relationship, or this is strictly a voluntary work. So be very, very clear about that. And what does it mean by a client relationship? Is it your failure if your client refused to listen to you and decided to go down that cliff, jump off that cliff? It's not your fault if the client doesn't listen to you. Okay. And is it your fault if the homeless that you're feeding decided to do drugs again, despite listening, despite you spending hours and hours counseling him or her? Is that your failure? So you have to set the expectation, the so-called KPI, the key performance index. The outcome should not be indicative of how successful you are in helping people. So that's the third point. Just because the outcome isn't what you expected does not mean that you are a failure. It's not a measurement of your success. And in helping people, there's no success or failure. You just help. They want to take it, they take it. They don't want to take it, it's fine. Okay, it's not an exam. It's not a performance. Okay, so yeah, so there's 3 points to share with people who say that, how do I help people? So this is how you help people, and what not to do, what not to feel, what not to think. Okay, and with that, may all of us come from the purest of the purest state when we reach out to the world, so they will have the best versions of ourselves and we make the world a better place. Okay, so yeah, that's all for now.